Blue city mayors are now being called, and I don't want to spend any more than 10 minutes on this one. Blue city mayors, including Brandon Johnson and Eric Adams, are being called before Congress to testify. Check it out and let's talk about it, y'all. Let's get into it.
Also breaking tonight, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson's summons to Congress to testify about Chicago's status as a sanctuary city. We have learned this letter from the House Committee on Oversight and Reform was delivered to City Hall today. It, quote, invites Johnson to testify at a public hearing on Capitol Hill February 11th. The letter states that there are 12 states and hundreds of cities and counties with sanctuary laws or policies, but it singles out Chicago, New York, Boston, and Denver as cities that fail to comply with federal law. The letter says, quote, citizens of all 4 cities have suffered due to sanctuary policies.
So, remember when they said that they would work against the Trump administration and Tom Homan and ICE in the United States of America, basically to prevent them from being able to arrest illegal criminals and wouldn't work with the Trump administration? There's consequences that come before that. So now they got to testify before Congress. And I've also heard that the Trump administration is trying to introduce an opportunity to maybe even deal with these people and arrest them. Now, Eric Adams, who also right here is also being called to testify before Congress.
And with the immigration crackdown underway, Mayor Adams is being called to testify before Congress about New York City's sanctuary city status. Christina Fan joins us live from City Hall with the latest on this. Christina?
Good morning, Chris. The House Oversight Committee says there are hundreds of cities and counties all across the country that have sanctuary policies, but 4 in particular, including New York City, stand out in their failure to abide by federal law and as a result have put its residents at risk. Mayor Adams is being summoned to Washington, D.C. by the House Oversight Committee to talk about sanctuary jurisdictions, their impact on public safety, and the effectiveness of federal efforts to enforce the immigration laws. In a letter to Adams and the mayors of Denver, Boston, and Chicago,
what happened to Atlanta? I think that Andre Dickens down in Atlanta also needs to come before Congress to testify. Not just the mayor of Boston, not just the mayor of Denver, Mike Johnson. Remember all of these people? Guess what? Biden didn't issue a pardon for them on his way out the door. All of the people that he said be a good Democrat, he didn't issue a pardon for them. He issued a pardon for Liz Cheney, Dr. Fauci, Hunter Biden. He issued pre-pardons for them. Brandon Johnson, Eric Adams, you on your own. Mike Johnson, you on your own. The mayor of Boston, you on your own. I think we need to bring the mayor of Atlanta in there too. The previous mayor of Houston, he needs to be in there also. Karen Bass in Los Angeles, maybe they didn't subpoena her because she's still over there trying to answer for the wildfires. She got enough on her plate. But they are sending them to testify before Congress. It's the same letter, but a different name right there at the top.
Chairman James Comer blasted their city's policies as misguided, obstructionist, and hindering the ability of federal law enforcement officers to effectuate safe arrests. In response, the mayor's office said in part, New York City is committed to working with our federal partners to fix our broken immigration system and focus on the smaller number of people who are entering our localities and committing violent crimes.
I don't understand Eric Adams. I genuinely don't. Let me be careful with my words because we have been in contact to possibly get an interview and I don't want to sabotage myself. Skip it. What do I care? I don't care if I get an interview or not. Eric Adams could be one of the worst of the mayors. Now, I definitively think that Brandon Johnson is probably the worst mayor in the United States of America of a large city. Some people say Tiffany Henyard. Tiffany Henyard is not the mayor of a large city. Brandon Johnson is the mayor of a very large city. And I think that Brandon Johnson has demonstrated, along with Karen Bass, how incompetent they are at being mayors inside of the United States of America. But let me tell you what makes it difficult for me to deal with Eric Adams is that he's not trustworthy. Can't trust him. Look at the statement. Eric Adams met with Tom Homan. He's also potentially petitioning a pardon. And Trump even said, yeah, man, I'll look at it. You know, it looks like he probably got railroaded over some simple stuff. They tried to throw the book at him simply because he wouldn't comply and continue to tear New York City down and be a good Democrat. And then he goes on Tucker Carlson and he does all of these interviews to basically say, hey, listen, I got finesse. They told me to do this. And I need to be working with the Trump administration to right my wrongs. Now, if you're asking for a pardon, why are you then playing both sides? You either going to participate or you're going to obstruct justice. It says Mayor Adams has made clear that NYC is committed to working with our federal partners to fix our broken immigration system and focus on the smaller number of people who are entering our localities and committing violent crimes. He's trying to play the game. He's trying to play both sides. He's trying to make it seem like, yeah, we're working with the Trump administration, but he's not really having a conversation about all of the illegal immigrants that are in here and they weren't supposed to be here in the first place. He's not having that conversation. He's not being accountable to the $6 billion that New York City spent to this date, making sure that illegal migrants are housed, fed, clothed, have food, taken care of, get schooling, housing, hospital beds, all of this type of stuff. He's not having that conversation. He want to choose his word carefully. Listen, we're only going to assist them with the people that committed violent crimes. No, you need to buy all the way in if you want a pardon. You need to buy all the way in if you're going to get this thing done. You need to buy all the way in. And so the one thing you can say about Brandon Johnson, as trash as he is that you know what side of the aisle he stand on. You don't know what you're going to get from Eric Adams, depending on what side of the bed that he wake up on or what level of duress that he's up under at that time. It's one thing to deal with somebody that is an adversary, but you know what side of the fence they stand on. It's another thing to deal with a chameleon. I don't like chameleons. I can deal with an enemy or an adversary because we may need to partner on some things that we agree on, even if we majority disagree on other things. That's what happens when you have diplomacy. I can't trust you if you're closer to me. An enemy is better. An enemy at a distance is better than a person that's close to you as a chameleon. An enemy is better than a person that's close because at least you know what you're dealing with. You don't know what you're going to get with this person. You don't know what you're going to get with them.
We will review the letter and respond accordingly. Monday night, the Adams administration also faced a grilling in the South Bronx from families angry with a plan to open a new 2,200-bed single men's migrant shelter. The announcement came after the city recently said the migrant population was declining and other shelters are closing.
We're being saturated now with too many shelters, and it's like I feel like we're a dumping ground and no more. We can't.
Willie Frazier says, Antoine. How come y'all don't know how to get my name right? I mean, I don't trip about it. I just let y'all say whatever y'all want to say. Hey, Antoine with a W. My name is literally right there. It says Millionaire Morning Show with Anton Daniels. Antoine. Move to Florida where Florida have illegals. You a hypocrite, Antoine. What? What are you saying? What are you saying? And you did it, and that's not even spell check and correction. That is you actually typing that as a basehead. I live in Michigan. Michigan is my home. Detroit is my home. And this is what I love. Now, I love Miami. I love Florida. But I'm not moving anywhere. I don't care about your illegals.
Do this anymore.
In New York City, immigration officials say they've seen no significant uptick in ICE enforcement so far. But nationwide, nearly 1,200 people were arrested Monday alone. Immigration advocates say people across the city are now afraid that any law enforcement officer could be an ICE agent.
This administration is hell-bent on
he a little sassy. I've already come to my conclusion that he's sassy. Let's continue. Sanctuary cities is under investigation, including Denver.
Not here at 7, and we start with breaking news as we take a live look at Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. New tonight, a powerful Republican congressman is now insisting.
No, architect is not a bass head. They base heads. That's what we call people that used to smoke crack back in the day. Y'all ever seen Menace to Society? I got these cheeseburgers, man. I got these cheeseburgers, man. That's what we used to call them over here in Detroit. We called them base heads. We ain't call them crack heads. We ain't call them meth heads. We ain't call them pill heads. None of that. It's a general statement. You're a base head. It's just base head. And then that extended to people that did stupid stuff. You must be a base head. You smoking crack? No. But I got these cheeseburgers, man. I ain't smoking no crack. I just got these cheeseburgers, man. So that's what we call them in Detroit. We call them base heads. Let me get a little bit of something. Let me get a little smoke. You got something for me? You got something. And they always itch. That's how you can tell a base head. Even if they lie to you, even if they try to get themselves together, they always fixing themselves up because they nervous and they don't know what's going to come next. What you got going on? I don't know. What's behind your ear? I'm just a little tired. Just need a little bit of pick me up. What you need, man? You got a little something for me? Always wiping their lips. You got a little something for me? Man, why you keep wiping your lips? Because I got these cheese, but I got these. I got. Why you keep growling, dog? I got these cheeseburgers, man. Hey, I got a confession to make. So the lady, I just waved at the lady because she from another unit, the black lady. And so she needed the security guard, but she know that he'd be sleeping in the closet. So she just came and woke him up in the closet, and he trying to act like he was in there investigating something. Oh, I love what I do for a living.
That Denver's mayor testified before a congressional committee to defend the city's so-called sanctuary city policies. Thanks for joining us tonight on 2 Prime News. I'm Matt Morrow. The chair of the House Oversight Committee has sent Denver Mayor Mike Johnston a letter requesting documents and information about its policies and how it does and does not cooperate with federal immigration enforcement, and is now launching an investigation. He is demanding that Johnston and 3 other big city mayors go to D.C. to testify. So take a look right here.
We'll get
this
to
is
Brandon
the post
Johnson
from GOP
tomorrow.
Representative James Comer of Kentucky, who is the chairman of the House Oversight and Accountability Committee. He says he wants to investigate the immigration policies of big cities and their impacts on public safety. So
have y'all not subscribed to the channel? Wait a minute. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and sent this to at least 2 or 3 people, how come y'all not giving them this good game? We have so much fun over here. We have so much fun. Man, I look forward to going live with y'all every day. It is so fun going live with y'all. Honest to goodness. It is the most fun ever. You guys make my day. I can't wait to get on here and have a good time and perform and do this show with y'all because I don't know what I'm going to say on a day-to-day basis. And we just have a good time. If you're not subscribed, if you haven't hit a like for the algorithm, and if you haven't sent this to your friends and family, you really, really are having to miss out. Even if you disagree with me, you can laugh at disagreeing with me.
So he says he's going to call on the mayors of Boston, Chicago, New York, and Denver, with Mike Johnston set to go to D.C. to testify. Congressman Comer says those cities stand out in their, quote, abject failure to comply with federal law. The hearing is now set for February 11th, according to the congressman. And just in the last hour, Mayor Mike Johnston has sent us a statement. It reads in part, quote, the most helpful thing congressional Republicans could do right now is fix our broken immigration system.
All of these mayors are saying the same thing. I hope they all held accountable for the way that they did their cities.
While they work on that, we will focus on running the cities that manage the consequences of their failure to act. Also, in the last few minutes, we are now hearing from Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Boebert, who is a member of the Oversight Committee. She writes, quote, the days of sanctuary states like Colorado and sanctuary cities like Denver are quickly coming to an end under President Trump.
Yeah, a lot of these people, these mayors, honestly, I think that they are the ones that ruined y'all cities. And the fact that y'all people, the people in the city, not Chicago, because Chicago flip red, they ain't playing no games. They out here doing what they got to do to make it rain and make it work. But all of these other people that allow for them to ruin y'all cities, I hope y'all feel bad. I hope y'all absolutely hate what the results are from y'all city, because it's unfortunate that y'all not holding these people accountable.